How's everyone doing today? Shankar Puri here, and today we're going to take a look at Bitcoin and the dump that just happened and see what that means. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. All these videos are for entertainment purposes only, and if you like this video, please comment, subscribe, like, and share. And without further ado, let's dive right into the charts. Alright guys, so we're looking here. We did have a pretty big dump on Bitcoin today, so just want to look at the liquidation. So the total liquidations in the 24 hours was about 412 million. So anyone who's trading on leverage, so if you have spot, you can't get liquidated. So anyone who's trading futures on margin, these are the liquidations. So that's a lot in the last 24 hours, 412. And the largest liquidation was on OKX, so of a value of $4.38 million. So, we did have a massive dump, and in crypto, you do get a lot of volatility. So Bitcoin normally moves sideways for a lot of the year, and then you get a whole bunch of volatility out of nowhere. But we were anticipating some type of volatility as we're moving up in the Wyckoff. Many people didn't anticipate this downtrend, not downtrend, but this drop so suddenly. So what I wanted to take a look at here was, if we zoom out in the chart, so I'm gonna bring this up here. So if we zoom out, like I said, every time we've broken resistance, we've had a nice rally up, and we're trending upwards right now. So we have a high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, and we're still trending. We're still anticipating an upward movement. And again, things don't happen in a straight line, so we could chop around and then head higher, but we're still trending that way. So if we look at the Bitcoin, if we zoom in, so this is this trend line. So let's go back to this trend line, because we haven't talked about it that much. We've really talked about the Wyckoff accumulation. The last time I really talked about this trend line was when we broke it over here. I think it was last week. So really what we're doing is we broke this support zone right now, and we still have the 8 hours left in the day to come above it, but this support zone was where we had the Wyckoff, so you can see it was support here, all the way over here. But we are coming back down to test this trend line. So the significance of this trend line, like I said in previous videos, is we've created this trend line from all the way back where the crash happened. So when we had that rally, we literally got rejected right off the trend line and then headed higher. So we just want to be cognizant of the fact that yes, we are on the daily time frame, which the daily still has 8 hours to close. We are underneath this zone here, but please remember that a line is not a line. Like, you can still be underneath this, but it's more of a zone than it is a line. So we want to be cognizant of the fact that we're underneath this, which is supporting, which was resistance, and we're hoping to hold as support. But we also have this trend line here, and this is for me the most important trend line at the moment. So let's go to the Wyckoff accumulation schematic to see where we are. So like I said, we have broken underneath this trend line. This support zone, which was resistance, and we're coming back underneath it. Now we do have 8 hours to close, so we could always come back above it, or we can close underneath it and come back above it as well. What we want to watch is the volume and see how the volume profile is by the end of the day. So keep in mind, again, a trend line, support and resistance is not a line, it's a zone. So a lot of times I have zones where we can draw. We could draw zones, so it could be could say it's here if you like, and you could still say it's within the zone. But what we want to watch is the volume and see if any divergences are going to be playing out, bullish divergences, to see how the price moves. So just remember that we've come up about 27%. So 27% from March 15th, right? So about March 15th, we've come up 27%. And from the bottom, and yeah, that was pretty much straight up 27%. So it's okay to have a, let's say from the top here, 8-9% retracement. It was about 10%. So 20% up, 10% down. We did have a nice move upwards. We're just having a pullback. I don't think that we're gonna start the bear market tomorrow, right? So let's look at the USDT dominance, because we know it is correlated with Bitcoin. So if we look at the USDT dominance, like I said yesterday, we were on the support zone. We're on the support zone, the support line, and we're bouncing. We bounced up from it. We're currently at a resistance zone at the moment. So we're currently at a resistance zone. So we are looking to see if we move further down, or if we break, right? So what I think could be a possibility is we could still move up. We could even move up to test this trend line here, and we could get a higher high in the RSI, creating a bearish divergence, and then moving the price further down. So that is a possibility that we could have. And while that happens, to be honest, altcoins will bleed if that happens, but that is a possibility to look out for. So let's look at as well as the altcoin dominance. As we said yesterday, we were on a support zone as well, and we're moving up. And we have a resistance zone over here, up here, and hopefully we get rejected from that, because as the Bitcoin dominance moves up, the altcoin, as the Bitcoin dominance moves up, altcoins normally move down. So what we're looking for is to break this level. So to break this level right here. So it's being used as support at the moment, and we would like to see it being broken down. So we can use it as resistance and keep moving further down, right? So nothing moves in a straight line. We've had a nice move down on the Bitcoin dominance. It was a great move down, and so it's okay for it to move up before assuming we're still in a downward trend, right? We still have lower lows. So we have lower lows, and we have a lower high. So we could go all the way up to this resistance zone here and then make another lower low, right? So let's just keep that in mind. That not too much to worry about today, right? Just normal price action. So what I wanted to look at today is the total 3. So it's the altcoin market cap, and we have broken, like I said, we broke out of this bull flag it was like 2 weeks ago, but we've gotten rejected before we even reached the next resistance zone. So what we've actually looks like we formed is a descending broadening wedge. So what a descending broadening wedge is, it's a bullish pattern where the price could definitely pull back all the way down to here again and then move up forward. So I actually pulled up on Google, so descending broadening wedge. So it's just a bullish pattern with a higher probability of breaking up to the upside. So if we look at this picture, it looks very similar with these two lines, right? So all right, so now I want to take a look at the S&P 500. So the SPX, currently we're having a pullback from a resistance zone. So what may actually end up happening, and I'll pull up the other chart, is we have a big support zone over here. So we have a big support zone over here, and we could actually come down into the zone, until and get a bounce from this zone and make a higher high. And what that does is it creates a head and shoulders pattern. So a head and shoulders where you have the head here, the left shoulder here. This is the head. And then we would create, if we came all the way down here, the right shoulder. So that's a bullish pattern. And, you know, if we did come down here, altcoins and Bitcoin would definitely bleed. But it would be a bullish structure for the price and for the S&P. So let's look at the S&P over here actually. So these are some support zones that we've drawn. You know, I actually drew more on the 15 minutes, so seeing it on the daily, it doesn't make as much sense. But as we were moving, I did on that 1 hour and 15-minute chart. So there are some support zones that we have that we could bounce from. So we're approaching one right now where we could actually just bounce from here and move up higher. But, you know, it's looking we might actually go a bit lower. I don't see any divergence, or the volume isn't, you know, that strong to say that we're going to hold the support zone. So we could definitely break lower down to these levels. So down to these levels over here. You know, unless volume comes in really strong this afternoon, we'll be on the lookout for that. But the volume's pretty low. Buying volume is pretty low right now. So let's look at the TLT. So like I said, we are still anticipating a bounce. But what I found interesting is that the TLT actually dropped yesterday or this morning. So we actually did have a drop. And so normally altcoins normally do a little bit better when the TLT is trending lower, but the SPX did drop as well. So you know, if we keep trending lower, like I said, we could, you know, the divergence that's playing out could, you know, eventually, but it looks like the divergence is not going to actually play out. We'll see how the weekly closes. We have 2 days and 5 hours left. So, but yeah, I was very surprised to see it drop so drastically in the open, but we are moving up. So, you know, we're still anticipating, you know, come back into here, further downside, or a touch all the way up into the zone here. And you know, and it's still trending lower. So let's see about that. Yesterday we were talking about Dogecoin. So I just want to bring up Dogecoin as everything's dumped. Just remember, when things dump, if they've broken out, a lot of the times it just comes back to their support, right? So when the market's dumping, what I like to do sometimes if I miss moves, I like to put alerts onto, you know, the trend line where it broke out of. And if we actually look here, so I actually entered a trade onto Doge today. And the reason why is because if we go into the 1 hour chart, so I entered it based on the 1 hour chart, is that I had a nice, it's testing the trend line, and we also have a bullish divergence. So a lot of times when the market's dumping, if you see coins getting away from you, you know, always make a note and draw the trend lines and see where the support or the breakout zone was. So when the market's dumped, normally they come close to or even break under the trend line. But if you can find a divergence, bullish divergence, or volume, or however you trade with Bollinger Bands, however you trade, I like to trade with divergence. You know, maybe you'll find a good entry and can get back in, right? Because it's safer for me to get in on this than to get in here or even here or here, for my opinion. That, you know, because even getting in like right at this breakout, you can get faked out. Let's say you got in right on this breakout, volume's decent, you know, volume's good. You would have gotten faked out, and there's a chance you would have got stopped, especially if you're trading on leverage. So entering here on this retest for me looked good. You know, this is just a short trade, so set targets, you know, just below this right here. So So yeah, so that's all for today, guys. Please remember that as the markets are maturing and moving, don't be scared if things drop drastically. This is how the market ebbs and flows. And always remember, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is, I think it's just over under $2 trillion market cap. So we have exponential growth ahead of us. And right now, change your perspective from making money to learning more. Because the more you learn, is the easier you'll be able to maneuver and adapt in this new industry. Because 95% of people still are not immersed or even looking at cryptocurrency, or scared to even stake, which I think staking is the least riskiest thing you can do in the cryptocurrency markets. So just keep that in mind that you're very early. The best thing to do now is learn, get better, whether you want to trade, flip NFTs. If I have family members that they're good at art and they just have an eye for NFTs that I don't have. And they've had success in that. So if you're good at that, just keep learning. And we're still at the beginning of this adoption phase for cryptocurrency. And if you're here now and you stay for the next 10 years, there will be nothing to worry about with your financial future. So without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching. I know it wasn't too long today. Stay tuned, stay calm, stay level-headed, and tune in next time for the next video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.